Okay, I just picked this up from Kijiji, and it was also on Facebook Marketplace. Little Husqvarna LT-12 38. No, it's not a 1238. It's a 12-38. 38-inch deck, 12.5 horsepower Briggs single cylinder L head. Story goes, it's got gas in the oil and they ran it like that for quite a bit. So the engine has damage. The engine is probably no good. It does turn, but it does kind of hit a hard spot right there, and I can kind of hear I almost thought I heard a knock. Actually, that might just be free spinning now. I think the knock was actually it hitting the broken connecting rod. Don't know if there's a hole behind the starter. Hard to tell. But like I said, the story goes, gas in the oil. They didn't know about it. It was ran, and it eventually blew up. It does have a modular carb. Unfortunately, it's a first gen steering, but this type of machine was kind of a crossover year on these. They were running the newer dash. As you can see, it's much more cleaner, modern dash, the more modern round rear fenders, but they were running these square running boards. They were running a modern style key, as you can see, and the modern ignition, the big ignition. But they're still running the lever system for deck engagement. As far as I know, I don't think it's cable. Looks to be a lever to me. Haven't fully taken a look. This thing does have quite a few pros on it. The deck spins. Transmission seems to be good. It's a 6-speed manual, obviously, which is desirable. The body is in decent shape. The seat's in decent shape. It's got a cup holder or beer holder. It's actually looks like it's the perfect size for a beer. It's got some scuffs on the dash. Really nothing that's a horrible deal breaker for a machine like this. So it needs an engine. I will do a short cranking over the engine just to confirm that it has no compression, but I'm pretty sure it is blown just by that sound, and it did hit a hard spot and then it stopped. But it's hard to say. It almost sounds like a piston's moving, but really there's no compression. So I'm pretty sure there is a blown connecting rod in there. When I was at the house, I turned it over by hand. It felt like there was a little bit of compression there, but I think it was just because I hadn't moved in a while. I paid really at value for one of these in non-running condition, but you gotta remember, 4 good tires. Fronts are worth $100 new, so about $50 used a piece. Backs are worth, I'm guessing, about $150 new a piece, so about $100 used a piece. So right there, that gets into what I paid for it, plus a bit more just in tires. So factor in decent seat, no rips, tears. Just notice the electrical is disconnected. I'm going to fix that right now. Fortunately, no battery, which kind of sucks. Transaxles, this is probably an MST 206, so Spicer, I believe that would still be. About anywhere from 80 to 150 and up. I've seen them go on Kijiji and eBay. So it's just finding the person that wants them. So in parts alone, the machine is worth it if I was to strip it and part it out. Also the deck, it's a 38-inch, but this deck will fit a machine that had a 42-inch. It has the same setup. Again, you have to have the lever, but it will still fit, and you could make this deck work on a machine with a 42-inch if you had to. So in there, there's money as well. So also, I do believe the spindles on this would probably be the same for a 42. So not really too big of a deal right there. Fortunately, the tank does have a crack. That will have to be replaced. It does smell pretty raunchy in there. So I don't take back what she said where gas got in the oil and blew it. So, and there is a spark plug in it. It does have the full exhaust. So if I was to find an L head, perfect. Put an L head back in here. But I found a overhead valve, which I believe I have an exhaust to put an overhead valve in one of these machines. I'll be going that route. So I would like to go that route. Go overhead valve, Briggs single cylinder, and repower it. The engines I'm currently looking at, it's 9 horse, but it's the modern engine, so it'll be okay. And this is only a 12.5 going down to an 9 horse. That won't really be too big of a deal. It's not too much of a drop in horsepower. So that's what I'm at right now with this. So it will be sitting around for a little bit until I do finalize an engine for it. I messaged some people just earlier about finding an engine for it. I know of one about 40 minutes away from here. This was only 20 minutes away from here. So there we go. Little Husqvarna LT-12 38 will be put back together eventually, and we'll be going back up for sale by next year. Also, it is the better of the frames. It's the bolt-in front axle, which is nice. 4 bolts on each side, which hold the frame together. These frames are less likely to crack. The off-roading community likes these frames since they are stronger. They don't have the weld-in front cross member. It's a bolt-in, which is good. I've done a lot with these types of frames, and yeah, and it does have the heat shield on the front there for the muffler, which is good. A lot of people do look at that and they like seeing that. It needs to be bent back into place, but again, not a big deal. So the next video, I will put power to this, see if the electrical system works, and we'll go from there. I noticed it is missing a fuse, so I'll have to grab a 15 amp fuse for that. Not a big deal. So done for now. So I'll talk from there. Please keep it redneck like always, and please subscribe and comment, and make sure you don't get your ding dong stuck in your steering wheel.